ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். நம்ம எல்லோரும் மிகவும் பணிவோட ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியை நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணி மெதுவாக குன்றனை உயர்த்தி வந்தன் போட்டுக்கொள்வோம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜிட்ட அனுமதியை கேட்கலாம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து இன்றைய தியானத்துக்கு அனுமதியை தந்து வழி நடத்துங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக கண்களை மூடி கவனம் நம்மளுக்குள் நம்முடைய ஹிருதயத்தில் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட திருக்கமல பாதத்தை தரிசிப்போம். கவனம் சஹசிராரம், 2 உள்ளங்கை. கவனம் சஹசிராரத்தில் நிலைநிறுத்தி 3 மகாமந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। गणेश मंत्रम। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। இடநாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துவோம். இடது கை மடி மீது இருக்கட்டும், வலது கை பூமி தாய் மீது வைப்போம். கவனம் இடநாடி, 2 உள்ளங்கையும் சஹஸ்ராரம். கவனம் வைத்த உடனே சுத்திகரிப்பு ஆரம்பித்துவிடும். முழுமையாக தூய்மையடைய மனதார பிரார்த்திப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ இடநாடி சுவாமினி. தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய இடநாடிக்குள் வாருங்கள். அதை பாதிக்கிற தம்மோ குணத்தோட எல்லா விதமான எதிர்மறைகளையும் பூமி மார்க்கமாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். எங்களை சுத்திகரிங்கள். தூய்மை அடைய செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. இடது உள்ளங்கை வழியாக சைத்தன்யத்தை வாங்கி குரோமான் கவனிப்போம். வலது உள்ளங்கை வழியாக எல்லா விதமான எதிர்மறைகளும் பூமி மார்க்கமாக நீங்கிறதும் உணர முடியும். பிங்கா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துவோம். வலது கை மடி மீது இடது கை ஆகாயத்தை நோக்கி வைப்போம். கவனம் பிங்களா நாடி. இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் சகசிராரம். நம்முடைய கவனம் சக்தி வாய்ந்தது. கவனம் வைத்த உடனே சுத்திகரிப்பு ஆரம்பித்துவிடும். மனதார பிரார்த்திப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ பிங்களா நாடி சுவாமினி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய பிங்களா நாடிக்குள் வாருங்கள். அதை பாதிக்கிற எல்லா விதமான எதிர்மறைகளையும் ஆகாய மார்க்கமாக நீக்கி விடுங்கள் தாயே. எங்களை சுத்திகரிங்கள். தூய்மை அடைய செய்யுங்கள். மெதுவாக இடது கை மடிக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். கவனம் சுஷும்னா நாடி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ சுஷும்னா நாடி சுவாமினி. தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய சுஷும்னா நாடிக்குள் வாருங்கள். அதை பாதிக்கிற எல்லா விதமான எதிர்மறைகளையும் தாங்களுடைய பஞ்ச மகாபூத தத்துவத் வழியாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். எங்களை சுத்திகரிங்கள் தாயே. தூய்மை அடைய செய்யுங்கள். எங்களுக்கு சமநிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள். எங்களுடைய கவனத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். கடந்த காலத்திலோ பிற்காலத்திலோ இல்லாமல் நிகழ்காலத்தில் தியான நிலையில் நிலைநிறுத்துங்கள் தாயே. கவனம் இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் சகசாரம் சமநிலையில் இருக்கிறோமான்னு கவனிப்போம். அமைதியாக இருக்கிறோமா? உங்களுடைய கவனம் சகசாரத்தில் நிலையாக இருக்கிறதா? சைத்தன்யத்தை உணர்வோமான்னு கவனிப்போம். மெதுவாக கவனம் மூலாதார சக்கரம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷா ஸ்ரீ மூலாதார சக்கர சுவாமினி. ஸ்ரீ கணேஷா, ஸ்ரீ கார்த்திகேயா, தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய மூலாதார சக்கரத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். அதை பாதிக்கிற எல்லா விதமான எதிர்மறைகளையும் முழுமையாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். ஸ்ரீ கணேஷா, ஸ்ரீ கார்த்திகேயாவோட எல்லா குணங்களும் சக்திகளையும் எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. ஸ்ரீ கணேஷ தருஷை கூறும். ஓம் நமஸ்தே கணபதயே त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं हृदं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं मामवक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवधातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अव उत्तरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचोद्भातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तसिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमिष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वं योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णु त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरों गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वार परतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण ऋद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम् सकार पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वार शान्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम् नादसन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निःश्रुतगायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशाङ्कुशधारिणं हृदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैर्सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्टयाथो प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो रात्रपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதாரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம் ஸ்ரீ குண்டலினி கௌரி மாதா மந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம் ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकुण्डलिनी गौरीमाता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्रीनिर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः गमनं स्वादिष्ठानचक्रं மெதுவாக கவனம் நாவி சக்கரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம் மெதுவாக கவனம் அநாகத சக்கரம் கவனம் விசுத்திக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம் மெதுவாக கவனம் ஆக்யா சக்கரத்தில் நிலைநிறுத்துவோம் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி நாங்கள் எங்களுக்குள் உள்ள அகங்காரம் மமகாரம் தங்களுடைய திருக்கமல பாதத்தில் சமர்ப்பிக்கிறோம் எங்களுடைய ஆகிய சக்கரத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். மன்னிக்கும் சுபாவத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள். மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் சகசிராரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். நம்முடைய வலதுகை சகசிராரத்தில் வைப்போம். தலையை லேசா குனிஞ்சுப்போம். பணிவோட கொஞ்சம் அழுத்தம் கொடுத்து நம்முடைய உச்சந்தலையோட தசையை 7 தடவை கடிகாரம் சுத்தும் திசையில் சுத்துவோம். மனதார கூறுவோம், ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய ஆத்ம விழிப்புணர்வு நிலையை திடப்படுத்துங்கள் தாயே. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தங்களுடைய எல்லா விதமான ஆசீர்வாதங்களுக்கும் எங்களுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றி தாயே. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து எங்களுக்கு தங்களுடைய அன்பு சக்தியை உணர செய்யுங்கள். அமைதியும் ஆனந்தமும் உணர செய்யுங்கள். எங்களுக்கு சிந்தனையற்ற நிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக வலது கை மடக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். கவனம் சகசாரம். நம்முடைய சைத்தன்ய நிலையை கவனிப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி ஸ்ரீ சஹசிரார சுவாமினி, சர்வ சக்கர சுவாமினி, சர்வ ஞானமயி, சர்வாலங்கார சுந்தரி, சர்வ ரக்ஷாகரி, தயவு செய்து எங்களுக்கு தாங்களுடைய ஒன்றினையை அனுபவிக்க செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. நம்முடைய சைத்தன்ய நிலை கூட்டுறதான் கவனிப்போம். இந்த சைத்தன்யம் தான் நம்மளுடைய ஒவ்வொரு செல்களுக்கும் ஊக்கம் கொடுக்கும். சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ ஆதிசக்தி ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி நம்ம எதற்கு அமர்ந்திருக்கிறாங்க. நம்மளும் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியும் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட திருக்கமல பாத இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் விரலுடன் நுனிகளும் கவனிப்போம். கருணாமயி ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட அன்பு சக்தியை உணர்வோமான் கவனிப்போம். இதே சைத்தன்யமான நிலை தெய்வீக இணைப்போடு ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட சொற்பொழிவை கேட்டு உள்வாங்கிப்போம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி.
Today we are here to celebrate Sahasradi. It was not very difficult for me to open the Sahasradi because there were so many seekers in this world. Because, of course, I studied also the permutations and combinations from which you all are, in a way, suffering. Also, the time had come. I felt horrible gurus who are really devils are trying to capture all the seekers. I thought it's high time that Sahasrara should be opened up. It was not like Christ's crucifixion by any chance. In those days, one had to do a lot of tapasya, and that's what he went through. But in these modern times, what you know is much more important than what you do. It is such a universal awareness now because of maybe medias, because of communications, because of traveling, that a human mind knows a lot. It knows so much sometimes that its brain cannot even bear it. It is so overloaded with ideas. And also, the human mind is all the time anxious to grasp, absorb, and retain whatever he thinks is knowledge. But he lacks discretion, so all kinds of things are accumulated in his brain in the modern times. Especially with the advent of all these media like television, computers, not a media, but it's quite a complicated brain again. The man had to know the technique of all these things very much. And this technique, if he understood, he could do many things, many more things than your forefathers could. Thus, materialism started taking its own development in the minds of people. So, the curse of human beings at that time was materialism. When I felt that Sahasrara must be opened up. Before that, people were simple, innocent. They all believed in God. They never doubted. And they didn't even seek the truth. This materialism created such a competition among human beings, such hypocrisy, that people started finding out that this is not honest. Materialism is not joy giving. You can't get peace out of materialism. Just it started developing into their awareness that this is not the end of our achievement. This is not what we have to know. This is not what is going to give us joy and peace. Especially after war, this awareness started growing very much among young people. This is also because now the human awareness had reached the state of the brain. That's how they started knowing better, absorbing better, and retaining better. You take a little child of today, he knows much better than you would have known when you were even 25 years of age. Because he's supposed to know about everything. And thus, there was no movement towards knowing what is the truth. But as this awareness grew more and more, lots of seekers were created on this earth. So many people who never knew they were seekers suddenly became seekers. It's a atmospheric effect, I should say. And thus a new category of people were born, became aware that they have to find out the truth. So it was all simultaneously according to the time that Sahasrara was to be opened up. And thus this happened. For us Sahajogis, of course, Sahasrara is the biggest event. Or we should say, whatever work all the incarnations have done, all the seers and saints and prophets have done, this is the culminating point. They did it for individuals, but to do for masses, that it should go to every nook and corner of this world, is the ultimate end of all spiritual growth all over, in every religion, through every great incarnations and prophets. What they indicated about future, what they talked about, what you are to know yourself, that you have to find yourself, that you have to become a realized soul, that you should have Atma Sakshatkar, that you should be a Wali. All these indications, even the Buddhist know that Matraya has to come. Matraya. Ma is mother 3 times. Trigunatmik. Even the Greeks had Athena with 3 powers in her. So all of them have been predicting about this time. And that time came. And that's how I call it the blossom time and the fruits that are you people. So it is all so much, we can say, in the cosmic cycle of different seasons. This beautiful time has come, and like the wheel of time has to turn and go further, Sahaja started. Of course, in a very small way, but has now grown so big all over the world. Here now, there's another thing that has happened, which is rather remarkable. That so far, people used to meditate alone, and maybe one of them might get realization. But there was no phenomena of Ama's realization, nor of Ama's meditation in those days. They all used to disappear into some nook and corner of a quiet place where they would sit down and meditate. But this Ama's realization, Ama's meditation, Ama's understanding and learning about your being was not even imagined by me, that it would go to such a limit, to such an extent, with leaps and bounds. This year, especially, it has taken a very new dimension. I think everywhere, and all that is negative is being exposed in most of the countries. So, this is how, when the Sahasrara opened, the Kundalini started moving towards this divine power, getting connected with it, and was all the time flowing within you. When the Nirvikalpa state came, when it is coming through the Sahasrara, one has to know that the Sahasrara has to be clean so that the flow of divine power is going, penetrating without any obstacle, without getting impure, without getting into any kind of problems. So to get to that level, to that state, all the Sahajogi, I'm happy to know, are trying to work it out, their own individual meditations also, so that this growth should take place. Thus, you get enlightenment in a full way. But then one must ask why, for what? What's the purpose? What's the aim? The aim is, your aim is lost. If you don't seek for aims at all anymore. This pandal was built with such great ability, for which we didn't pay anything. Everybody was working here day and night in the rainy season, and I was quite worried about them. I said, what's the matter? We are enjoying, mother, we are enjoying. I'm not enjoying. We are enjoying the rain, all right. We are enjoying the cold, all right. Enjoying everything, lifting all these heavy things, everything we are enjoying. I was quite surprised at them. Nobody had any complaints, but everybody was just on the warpath, building this tent for you. So what happens? Once your Sahasrara is clean, this flow of joy doesn't allow you even to think that you are exerting or you are working. Normally, if you tell somebody that this is to be erected, some would faint. And some would say, this will take at least 1 year. Then they'll start giving excuses. This pole is no good, that is no good, it won't stand that, there's nothing, there's nothing. Ultimately, you'll find nothing is done. It will lie like this for years together. You better get another person, you better go buy another one. Everything is postponed all the time and nothing is done. But here you don't feel you are doing anything. When you don't feel you are doing anything, how can you say then why? Because I'm not doing anything in any way. So I don't ask question why. Why? In any case, I'm not doing anything. That is the state where you are working in the divine plan. You are doing a lot of work. But nobody feels they are doing anything. They all think we are absolutely just enjoying ourselves, doing nothing. This kind of a state is the blessing of Sahasrara. Because only in your brain you think all these things, labor-saving devices. I mean, you tell anybody, you go and telephone to this person. Immediately, if it's a madden bond, he'll say, he may not be there, God knows, what's the use, telephone may not be alright. But you see, Why don't you see if the telephone is all right or not? Before that only he will give 101 explanations that it may not be all right, it may be something may be wrong, and just labor saving first. That is one of the tricks of the brain. Then this intelligence cheats you all the time. It gives you rationality for everything. Like a person kills his father. You ask him, why did you kill? Why not? He was so old, he was suffering, and I wanted to have all the property, so I thought better kill him. Like Queen Victoria became very old, so her son was to think that I'll never become a king if this lady goes on like this. So the brain starts giving lots of explanation and cheating. Because rationality. It gives rationality, and rationality is nothing but ego or your conditioning. Your ego tells you, no, this is not good. So you stick on to that point. This is not good. Then another can ask you why it is not good. I think it is not good, so I think. Or like some say, I believe, but why? But in Sahaj Yoga, answer is simple. Why do you do it? I enjoy it. What's the next answer? Why are you worried? I'm enjoying it. Now the people who also say like that, because of their conditionings, oh, I'm enjoying it. Somebody will say, I enjoy my drink. Somebody can say, I enjoy my going to the church. Sometimes I say, going something else. It's like that. They're enjoying something, which according to Sahaj Yoga, we can never enjoy. But that enjoyment is not collective. That is not supported by anyone. For example, somebody says, I enjoy drinking. Nobody has erected any temple or any statue of a man who drinks. Have you seen anywhere in the whole world? So though he may say that I enjoy, it has no sanction from the society. People can say, I enjoy stealing. People can say, I enjoy killing. But it is very arbitrary, it is very individual, and never supported by the society, even by the modern society. And there's always reaction to it. But Sahaj Yoga is not like that. When you say, I enjoy, you say it because you have no ego and you have no conditionings. It's a different situation. Because now the Sastra is opened. So on one side, your ego has gone down. Another side, your conditioning is finished. You're no more conditioned. Like you talk to a Catholic. So I started talking about Christ. Immediately said, Mother, now please. I said, I'm talking about Christ, not about Catholicism. Talking of Christ, what are you frightened about? Mother, we shouldn't become Catholic again, that's why we are worried about. Baba, Christ never started Catholicism. So much so, they have developed a kind of a deconditioning of their minds. That they start seeing that whatever these people have done so far was wrong. And that whatever I have done so far was absolutely wrong, and I'm not going to do it. It's a very common thing. I have seen the people who have worshipped Christ prefer to worship Ganesha. And those who have worshipped Ganesha prefer to worship Christ. Just the same. The name is different, but just the same. But they like it. Because Christ means the priest, the confessions, rosaries, and also cemeteries. So they don't want to have. these conditionings itself start showing their own forms, like devils, and Sajogis want to avoid or have nothing to do with. I remember in the beginning, we had about 6, 7 hippies from England, and they had come to Rauri. We're having a program. And there were 5, 6 real hippies. These were hippies became Sajogis. Real hippies came to the program. I was just sitting like this, and suddenly they said, "Oh no!" I said, "What has happened?" I started. As if some snake has entered, or what has happened? They were hippies, but with this deconditioning of the conditions, they just couldn't bear those same hippies that they were coming inside. Because you start seeing clearly, very clearly, that all these conditionings had blinded us completely and it's misled us into a wilderness. Of course, about ego, in the West, people are extremely conscious. There was a leader's wife. I said, "Why don't you help your husband?" She said, "Mother, I'm worried about my ego." I said, "Why?" "If I start doing some work, this ego might develop again, so I'm rather worried." They're so conscious of it that this ego should not come back. One fellow who came to me and I was talking to him, then he just ran away. I said, "What happened?" She said, "No, those people who go close to mother always develop very bad ego. I don't want to be there close for with her." So it's such such a mind that sees madness, that sees insanity, that sees immaturity, it sees vulgarity, it sees deceit, hypocrisy, everything so clearly. And in that state, he gets confused and quite upset, wants to run away from it. Then we have some Sajogis who have such problems, who come to Saj Yoga with problems. Then these people see them with these problems that are still continuing. Now the Sahasrara doesn't want to accept it. It's terrible. I was like him. No, 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 no more. Me, I don't want to be like that. So they abhor the person who was just like them. They just can't bear him. They just can't tolerate. Then I would say, still, you have to grow. You have to grow. Your Sahasrara has to be cleansed out at such a speed, at such a level and stage that, like soap cleanses everything, it should cleanse everything else. Should not be afraid of anything. Should not have any worry about the conditionings of others or ego of others. That is the state now we have to reach. Today is the Sahasrara day, is the 23rd Sahasrara day. And I shouldn't expect much. I don't want to say anything much about it. But I wish and I hope that all the 1,000 petals of your Sahasraras will be so cleansed that you will never catch from anybody, you will never be frightened of anybody. You will be masters of all kinds of curatives, and also you will be the one who can give solace, peace to others. You will be the one who will be organizing programs outside. You will be the one who will be responsible for Saj Yoga. And when that happens, then we can see that these 1,000 petals of the Sahasrara have opened out. These 1,000 petals are not yet awakened. They signify the different 1,000 powers of the goddess. Minimum of minimum. These 1,000 ones you can open out yourself by introspection, by looking at yourself, making fun of yourself. Know thyself means know yourself with all the defects you have and also the potential you have and all the good points you have. So, as far as you are concerned, when you are looking at yourself, you should just see to the defects that you have. Why do I behave like this? Why do I assert so much? What's the problem? Why can't I see myself clearly? With that transparency of your sastara, you can see your heart, you can see your mind, you can see yourself fully, clearly. What's wrong with you? This transparency can come only if you have really the pure desire, Shuddha Ichcha, to be of that level. Now, there is no competition between A and B. We don't say that you got the first prize for coming out of the sastra, or we don't say you have the second prize. There's nothing like first, second in Sahajya. Because we are not running the race. There's no competition between us. Whatever we are doing is for our own satisfaction. Now think of something. There are 5 people who are running. Now they have to think out of these 5 people who goes first. Here it is the other way around. The 5 people are meditative. Now, everyone individually has to see for himself if he satisfies himself or not. Nobody else is going to give a certificate. It is you who has to give certificate to yourself, honestly. A very different position. It is you, your sahasrara, and your attention. And you have to see within yourself, how far have I realized my own powers, my own compassion, my own personality. You will have to test it yourself. It is who you are the one who decides. When you are the one who is running, it is you are the one who decides without running. Then what is the question of competition? The whole thing disappears into nothing. As I told you the other day, an analogy, that if you are looking at the mirror, then you are the one who is observing. Your reflection is the one that is observed. And there is the action of seeing. So you are in 3 dimensions. But supposing you become the mirror yourself, the whole process is reversed. You see yourself. You don't have to see because you're seeing it all the time. It's just spontaneous. In the same manner, when it comes to Sahasrara, it is your Sahasrara itself gives you full idea as to how you are. The diagnosis comes from your own Sahasrara. Your own Sahasrara tells you what centers are catching, because all the pitas of the 7 centers are in the Sahasrara. As if the Sahasrara is now watching yourself and reporting to you, see, this is wrong with you, this is wrong with you, this is wrong with you. So, Sahasrara, being the best well-wisher that you have, gives you the right information about yourself. The best is that you correct yourself. So then achieve that perfect state. That is what you have to do. But once you have achieved the perfect state, you have achieved your aim, you have no aim left. Like the lights now. Till you have to make the lights, you have to work hard. Make the lights, put them right, do everything that is necessary. But once it is made and the light comes into it, then the job of the light is to give the light. So the first function is over. Now the second function is to give it back. You reach your aim, your destination. For example, I had to come here. All right? So I come all the way from my house, come in the car, walk in and come and sit down here. I was finished that part. Over. Now I don't have to walk. Otherwise I'll be all the time running. So all this mad race of this brain stops. For what? Should it be used now? For enjoying the peace, for enjoying the joy, for enjoying the collectivity. So the labor or the hard work, or you can also say the planning of the future finishes off. Only thing now you have got it, so better enjoy it. It's like you are coming from outside, you are running, you are very hungry, you want to reach home. Once you reach home, then the food is served to you. Now what's your aim? Nothing but to enjoy the food for which you are running. But after that also, if you start running, then one should say it is absolute stupidity. But the capacity of enjoyment only comes when your Sahasrara is absolutely open. Otherwise, the capacity to enjoy is much less. And you become like a person who is running all the time after something which you never achieve. There are many like that. All their lives, they're like mad, They are working morning till evening, every day, achieving nothing. Next day again get up, again running. All their lives running like this. Till their foot is in the grave, they are still running. But after getting to Sahajya, you stop all these activities and leave it to your Sahajya to work, to your Sahasrara to work it out. And it works out. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be so competent. You don't have to write down everything. You don't have to think of planning everything. Just everything works out. And it works out beautifully. The only thing that one has to do is to accept whatever is happening for our good. Even in small, small things. For today's delay in the puja is the desire of some people who wanted to give you some sort of a, I shouldn't say that, but some secret show was going to be there. And they didn't want any light. So they were thinking what will happen, the puja will be over by about 5, then by 6 o'clock they'll eat their food, but the sun would be there after 9 o'clock. And how can we show this? All right? So have it in mind. In every small thing you will see. Some people were coming from India and they had to bring my 2 boxes from there. And they wouldn't allow these boxes. They said it is overweight. So they didn't know what to do. They thought that they should send them back and later on it can go till Guru Puja or something. But they thought that there must be some plan, must be some drama. Plane was late 19 hours. So they thought there must be some drama. Then they were put into some sort of a tourist hotel for that night. Next morning, they met 2 other Indians from Sahajyogis from Pune. 2 boys. That settled it. My luggage, they could put it in their name. And that's how the luggage came in. But they never felt bored. 19 hours. We had nice time together. We were enjoying and talking. Finished. Nobody feels that time is passing out. Otherwise, anybody else would have eaten up all the airport personnel. I would have broken all the telephones. Waiting for 19 hours, my God, what is this? Would have given it in the newspapers, everyone. It's the greatest crime. While these were enjoying life nicely. So we have lost now the sense of aim. We don't have any aims. We just want to enjoy.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்கள் மூடி சில நிமிடம் தியானத்தில் இருப்போம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்களை திறந்து ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜிக்கு மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை கூறி நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணி குண்டலினியை உயர்த்தி மந்தன் போட்டுக்கொள்வோம்.